Good afternoon. Right, we're going live on YouTube as well. Processing. And there we go. We are connected. Hey, Dan, Denny, Jay. It's him, Cortez. All right. Okay. So what we're going to look at today. Listen, most of the attention for me is going to be looking at gold. I will look at NASDAQ and DAX, but as of last week, they weren't really giving me much to work with. Faisal, Kevster, Stanley the sausage dog. How you doing, mate? You must be a talented sausage dog to be trading. So listen, a little bit of house rules. This is an area where there's no sledging. If you don't like what you see, then just depart quietly. Hi Terry, how you doing? I don't talk about fair value gaps. I don't talk about ICT. I don't talk about order blocks, orb, whatever else. All I am is a price action trader, guys. So um, if you want to learn and see what I do in terms of price action, then this is a place to be. If it's not, then like I said, guys, you don't have to be here. Those of you that are, I appreciate your time and thank you very much for coming. It's profitable trading crypto futures. Listen, anything's profitable with the right system. So I can't comment on the system or the futures that you're looking at, but look, what I can say is if you have a system that has been used, it's been used in a methodical manner, so an if done process, mechanical basis, not just gray areas, and you've tested it with low risk initially and then build up as you go along, fine. Yeah, anything can be profitable. But so Peter Cole, good afternoon. Menez, Stanley, Rodrigo, how are we doing, guys? Okay, so look, let's take a look at gold. I'll remove everything and restart from the beginning so we can have a look at what's happened today and how we can potentially look for some opportunities. So let's just start with, we'll go up to the weekly and just have a look. So what happened last week? So, I mean, the weekly chart, as I look at it right now, guys, it's not exactly uh, filling me with much confidence other than the fact that this move lower right now on the weekly could be just a liquidity grab to start the next impulsive move higher. Okay, so if we look, what's happened? We've had an uprange bearish candle 3 weeks ago. Then we've had a downrange bearish candle. We've now had an a downrange bullish candle. So what I'm looking at is if this candle, the current weekly candle, breaks its own high, I expect it to fill the wick of the previous weekly candle. So opportunities to look to get long anywhere down here could be an early entry into the next move higher. Does that make sense, guys? If it makes sense, just hit the like button. Hey, Cyprian, how you doing, buddy? If it doesn't make sense, just let me know. Uh, oh, what's just popped up there? Yeah, okay, fantastic. Uh, Lovely. Okay, so let's go down to the daily. If we look at the daily, we can see last daily resistance was here, 33.58. I'm not going to draw this on because it's not going to. I'll have a look at GU later, but I don't trade GU. So I'm going to focus on the markets I do trade, and then I will come back to that once I've analyzed it. Analyze this for you, everyone. So I'm not going to put this level on right now because, like I said, it's too far out the way from price for me to make a decision. Um, Most recent support down here. I'll put it on because this is an area that we could see the market trade down into. Let's go to the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour resistance. We're getting somewhere. We can start to see a little bit of clarity. So 4 hour resistance, I'm just going to drop in here. Don't need to change the 4 hour support. Let's go to the 1 hour. Concepts, just price action. So you missed the beginning, guys. I don't talk about fair value gaps. I don't talk about ICT. I don't talk about orb, order blocks, whatever, all that stuff. I don't talk about it. So don't ask. And if that is something you want to know about, then what I'd say is find another channel that will be more in tune with what you're looking to find out about. Okay? So just price action. Nothing else, just price action is all you're going to see here. No indicators. Indicators are meant for cars, um, and that's it. Okay, support level. We can see in here. Resistance level in here. So right now, as I'm looking at this, you see this price point between 33.13 and 33.01. This is a no trade zone for me. Okay, gold sell-off imminent. Yeah, let's hope so. If it is, we'll be in it. If it's a rally, we'll be in it. So look, we'll find a system that will give us an entry technique, providing it meets our rules. I'm not going to just trade something, think we can get in a sell. Potentially, if we get a breakout. Let's have a look at the 30-minute. Okay, so 30-minute. I'm going to change my structure on the 30-minute for here. Now we could look for an option, something above here, 13, but then we've got to account for the weeks. No, so I'll leave that one there. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute. I'm going to make one more slight adjustment to the resistance and a slight adjustment to the support. Let me see what we've got here. 3,300. Okay, so not enough room for the downside. So as I look at this, guys, this is my no trade range. So I'm not going to do anything in this range here. Okay, so yeah, if you want to buy here, you want to sell here, that's your prerogative, guys. But I'm not doing that. I'm just going to explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Things I always like to look for is clear traffic. Um, I want clear traffic to trade into. That gives me my trade a higher probability of success. Okay, the less traffic there is, the more likely we are to go on and hit target. So what am I going to look for? I'm going to look for a close below. This is the 15-minute time frame. To get short, I'm just going to write it all on so you are clear with what I'm looking for. Sells below 32.98. Done. Now, I'm not just going to sell as it goes below. I'm going to wait for a close below. That'll be a 15-minute candle. And I'm going to wait for buys. Oh, let's see if I can spell properly. Buys above 33.17.1. Right, while we're waiting for this and while I'm explaining, guys, if you can let me know where you're registering from, where you're watching from, that'd be great to hear. Right, Bossy RX, good afternoon. Yeah, so look, I'm looking for buys above 33.17. I'm looking for sells below 32.98. Everything else, not interested. Okay, where would I look to scale out? Well, I'm always going to have my first take profit. Now, with trend, I'll let it run a little bit more. Hello, Maidstone, UK, Portugal, South Africa, UK. Good afternoon, peeps. How we doing? So, no major news today. There's nothing coming out, so there's no major news. So the only thing that's going to move this right now is if there's something unscheduled or just the opening of COMEX could see another push. Now, will it be a push in the continuation of the direction that the market's been moving today, which is $34 offside, or are we going to see buyers step in? That we have no idea. Anyone that tells you any different, bet spreading or spread betting? Potihara, Parry Hotter, love it. No, I don't do spread betting. Um, Spread betting is a little bit of a fictitious market here in the UK. But yeah, no, I don't. Themba, good afternoon. Yes, okay, so no trades at present, no pending orders at present, but this is what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do, let me just kill my alerts for now, the ones that I had in, delete all. That one can go as well. And I'm just going to put in just a couple of alerts below where I want to buy and above where I want to sell. And the reason for this is I'm going to be looking at other charts. So if I'm not looking at this chart, I just need to know when price is getting close to where I want to be a buyer or a seller. Okay, let's go and have a look at the NASDAQ. We'll do the same thing. Process will always be the same, guys. Process never changes. Okay, what we're seeing on the daily, well, market has been putting in new all-time highs. Friday saw an inside candle. What does an inside candle mean to you? What time does NYE stop? NYSE opens at 2:30 UK time. Okay, 2:30 UK time. But they are traded 24 hours a day, based off. Yeah. So 2:30 is where you're going to see some volatility. Especially, hey Vic, how you doing? Especially on NASDAQ. So what does an inside candle mean to you guys? Tell me what an inside candle means to you. Remember, there's only four types of candle. There's only four types of candle. Inside, outside, up range, down range. The market can't give you anything else. So if we know that, no, it's 2:30. It's 1:30 in GMT, not British summertime. 1:30 is COMEX. Uh, Inside candle is a lower high and a higher low. Do I use the orb strategy? No, I do. Right, guys. I know you do all come in at slightly different times, but no orbs, no order blocks, no SMC, no ICT, no three-letter words, just price action. Okay? I'm gonna have to create a banner somewhere that just has it floating. It's all right, no worries. I don't mind. Just usually get asked about 1,000 times through a stream. So I obviously don't have the marketing prowess that ICT does or those guys, because my God, everyone talks about it. But I can't give you honest and proper feedback, so I'd rather not say anything. No, don't be daft. So look, inside candle in a very strong market move would suggest a pause. Now, the only time it will differentiate is when it comes into structure, because at structure, this could be a sign that the market is about to roll over. So if I was looking at an inside candle when we've got a very strong bullish market and there's no structure to the left, and we know there isn't because this is all-time highs, I'm thinking about, right, the market creating, um, pushing higher and breaking through those highs. Okay, so are you prop firm funded? I'm not now, but a lot of my members are. A lot of them are using instant funding. Yeah, instant FX capital. Now, based on that, we can't really make a decision unless you're trading higher time frame to look for a break of the high. Okay. Now let's take a look at the 4 hours. So 4 hour most recent resistance is here. Now one thing we can say is because this is all-time highs, we know that if we break here, we do have clear traffic to the upside. If we're looking for clear traffic to the downside, it's a slightly different sentiment, right? We don't have yeah, Vic, no FVGs. Goddamn three-letter words. Okay, so yeah, we're looking right. NASDAQ, I'm thinking about buys above 22,887. I don't like these candles here. So if we look at these candles here, why don't I like this type of candle price action, guys? Tell me why I don't like this type of candle price. Midge Robertson, if you just go to the link in my profile, just click that, the stand store, you can see the different things, the different options, the free channels and everything else there. Yeah, it's choppy, but the main thing is when I want to try and talk about choppiness, just look at the bodies. The bodies are very small. You've got wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside. So if you were to look at that on a smaller time frame, you're just going to see the market going up and down, up and down, up and down. There's no continuity. If you're a trader, you want to be trading into this type. That's what I'm looking for, those type of candles. So if I've got structure and I can get above or below it and trade into that, then that's something that I want to look for. Yeah, exactly, Midge. Exactly. It's just consolidation. It's horrible. It'd be like driving down the M25 in rush hour. If you're from UK, you'll know that. If you're from the US, it'll probably be like driving down central Manhattan in rush hour or around LA and rush hour. You know what I mean? It's where it's just very, very congested. You can't put your foot down. You can't get to where you want to be. So when you want to trade above or below levels, make sure when you look left, you've got clear traffic. Okay? So you're just going to wait for a move pretty much the same as I would. Yeah, I spend half my time well, I spend 90% of my time waiting for the market. Okay? Um, and that's where most people Vic, pack it in. Um, yeah, I got people on YouTube having a laugh at me saying, "Stop talking and start trading." Yeah, well, unfortunately, I am a sniper, guys. I will sit here and wait for that prime shot. And if that prime shot ain't coming, I'm not taking it. And this is the kind of discipline you want to have. You want to be laser focused, guys. If it don't set up, you don't trade it. So, um, you could look for shorts underneath here, right? But what would be the issue? I'm just going to mark it in. Sells below 22,714. So look, I'm marking it in, but it doesn't mean I'm taking it, right? I just want you to give me an answer to what you would think. Buys above, let's just put 22,900. Okay. What would be the issue, do you think, about trading below 22,714? Do lines on chart determine where price moves? No, the only thing that determines where price moves is buyers and sellers. Now, you probably think that sounds stupid, but it's true. Buyers and sellers are the only thing that can determine where the market moves. What lines do to me is tell me where I want to be looking for potential opportunities. Yeah, that's it. Duncan. So I will sit out of a market until price comes to me or my desired area. Is it really simple? Um, I would say so, yeah. The hardest thing you will have to do is control yourself. And that's where people will ultimately generally, but retail orders don't influence markets. And how would you find institutional orders? Okay, so Duncan, you're reading too much into a lot of what people will say. The best place, if you want to look into some retails people that sell nonsense, right? What I would say is if you want to look into actual uh, factual orders, then you go to cftc.gov here. And this is where you will find out all the orders on the futures market, and you want to in where is market data? Commitment of traders. So you want to look at commitment of traders. Come down to now. This is the cheap way of doing it. This is free. Um, Financial long format, and that's what it looks like. So you have dealer, asset fund, asset manager, leverage funds, others, and non-reportables. So you can see exactly how many contracts that are in the market particular in each asset class. Now, this is an absolute nightmare to try and put into a visual perspective where you can go ahead and take information from it. So what I'd suggest is you look at, if you really want to know about institutional orders, you're going to be trading swing based. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Listen, people are already positioned anyway. So you have to make, and when you're looking at futures data is collected every Tuesday and released every Friday. So you're already 3 days behind the curve, but it doesn't matter because you want to know exactly where they're positioned. Anyone that tells you anything else, they're lying. Okay? The only true data you can find, the only true data you can find is by going to the cftc.gov, and that is called the Commitment of Traders Report. Okay? That is based on futures contracts. So non-reportables are generally the people that get it wrong but have enough money to go into the marketplace. Um, But that's swing trading. That's not what I do anymore. I did that before Trump came into power. If you want to have a so cut, it's not about determines. They're the true numbers. They're the true numbers. If you want to do something else, you can get a Bloomberg terminal. You're going to pay, I don't know what, $2,500 a month. Or you could go and find Commitment to Traders report where you can probably pay $100 a month off a provider out there that will put it into a format that you can utilize and use. But again, you've got to think, what do you want how are you going to use institutional flow? What do you want from it? How are you trying to position yourself? If you're a day trader, it's not going to make any difference. If you want to do swing positioning, then yeah, it'll make some importance. You just have to think about what it is you're trying to do. If you're a day trader, listen, people who are positioned for the next 6 to 12 months isn't really going to make any difference whatsoever on your position today. Um, I hope that makes sense, and I don't want to sort of like detract away from what I'm looking at. Um, but I mean, if you're trying to catch any sort of volume, why wouldn't I be following institutional position? If you're trying to catch volume, then work with the the opening of a particular market, because volume is literally institutional traders, they're already positioned, and they're not just going to be throwing yards at the market every day. They'll change their positioning around news events and things like that. But if you're looking for fresh cash, you're not going to know that until it hits the market. Yeah. So it all comes down to what you're trying to achieve from the marketplace. You could look at things like seasonal investing. So you can have a specific time where you know that between, I don't know, let's say between end of November and the 1st of February is a seasonal bullish period for gold, right? So if you know that and gold is in a bullish market like we're seeing right now, then aligning your technical analysis with a seasonal period, you've now got timing, you've got sentiment all lined up together. You take the trade, and then you can hold it for a longer period. They're the things that I used to look at. Gold is moving. Well, my alerts haven't gone off, so it's not moving enough for me yet. Um, so these, remember, guys, there's so many different ways to trade, and I'm not saying mine's the right way or the only way. It's just what I do. It's how I do it, and I'll explain to you, and you can see how I do it on a daily basis. If you don't like it, then like I said earlier, then it doesn't resonate with you, then the best thing you can do is not be here, because you're going to waste your time. You're not going to enjoy it. You're going to think that I'm talking waffle. So it just means so why not? That'd be a premium. You can do that. Duncan, I'm not quite sure what you're. I'm not going to change my style of trading. Yeah, I've done all the futures markets. I've done all that before. What I do, this is how I do it. So if you want to front run things, so a premium, guys, if you want to know what a premium just means that the spot market is trading at a higher value than the futures market. Because in theory, a futures market should be more expensive. Why? Because it's something in the future you would expect something to appreciate in value over time. So if the spot market is more expensive than the futures market, it means there's a premium for it right now. So that's what you call front running. But look, at the end of the day, you have to do what you want to do. And this is what I do, you know. And if you want to go down a different path, um, the sense is I it's an if done process, you know. It's an if done process. It's a mechanical process. There's no gray areas. Even when I was doing the commitment to traders, there's certain gray areas because you're not just going to buy because, let's say, commercials are 98% short on gold and they've just had a 12% increase this week on short contracts. Okay, you're not just going to sell it because they'd be selling it because the market's appreciating at crazy rates. So in order for them to realize profits, the commercials have to sell it. Non-commercials will be doing the opposite. They'll be buying the market because they're trying to capture the trend. So you still have to apply technicals regardless, unless you just have something like Larry Williams, which he would trade certain days of trading days of the year. Would you believe me if I told you retail educators directly benefit brokers? Would you believe me if I told you retail educators directly benefit brokers? Probably. Well, anyone benefits brokers, right? As soon as someone's trading with a broker, they're benefited. Uh, what is your win percentage? From a bad month would be around 50 to 55%, and that'll be break even or losing a little bit of money. A good month would be anywhere between 65 and 75%, and anything over that is an excellent month for me. Um, you just remember when it comes to, sorry, I was just looking at a smaller time frame. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Listen, brokers benefit from every trader. Think about it. If you look at every broker, they have a percentage that says 70% of their traders lose money or 80% of their traders lose money. So every every new trader to every broker will benefit a broker until they don't benefit the broker, then you know what happens. Um, um, okay, and why? Just out of curiosity, why are you suggesting that I will watch it? What's the the relevance between how I trade and that? Just out of curiosity. Oops. I I'm just curious why people come here and then want to tell me what to do when I've created what I do, which is this is what I do. And like I said, if you don't agree with it, I'm not here to learn things from other people. I have my own mentors. But if you want to listen to what I do, then fine. If not, like I said, it's a very simple solution. Um, the truth behind the industry, one could learn a lot from what they say. Okay, cool. I'll have a look. But I always laugh when people say the truth behind the industry because there must be an agenda. Yeah. Like if you want to, do you want to know what my agenda is by doing this for free? Vivi, I haven't watched it. I don't watch. I haven't watched it. I don't watch many things on YouTube. So just out of curiosity, do you want to know what my agenda is? You know, because there's always an agenda. If anyone tells you there's no agenda with what they're producing, there's always an agenda. So my agenda is, and this is the gospel truth, is if I do this for free for as long as I can for you guys, I'm sure that there will be a percentage of you that actually likes what I do and how I do it that will want to become members. That's it. I'm trading at this time anyway. So I'm just going to share what I'm doing. And if you like it, then you know what? I'd love for more people who want to succeed and that would add value to my traders community, then that would be amazing. So that's why I do it all free. This is my shop window, guys. So and there you go. Now anyone that's producing a video on YouTube or whatever, they're doing it for an agenda. They always are, right? You have um, news channels. Hey Sid, how we doing? Welcome back, buddy. But I mean, if you could tenfold the skills of your craft, why not learn more? Um, listen, anything to improve. But like I said, it has to align with what I'm doing. If it doesn't align with what I'm doing, then I'm not doing it, regardless of what anybody says. I'm too old in the tooth for that, Duncan. I'm an old, stubborn man. And as my missus would say, I'm too stubborn. But Fenton, you got two funded accounts. Nice one. Sean, I'm trading with Instant FX Trading. Lovely. Nice one. Stephen from Bermuda, how you doing, buddy? Right, so what we're looking at, we're still waiting. Nothing's happening. It's a bit of a boring day. The market's moved really well overnight. I sent out some charts on the free Telegram channel for members to have a look at. Well, not just members, on the free Telegram channel. So anyone that's on my free Telegram channel would have seen it. They played out lovely. So well done to you guys that took it. What do you think of LGPs? Give us a clue. I have no idea what is it. As long as it's nothing to do with ICT, fair value gaps, uh, uh, then yeah, I uh, I have no idea. So yeah, I don't know what IGPs are or LGPs. So sorry, can't help you there. Someone's just messaged me, just laughing at the messages coming in today at me. Um, Lovely. Um, right, guys, any questions? Oh, someone said, can I look at well, that's helpful. Well, do you want to say, tell me what it is, Majace? I don't know what it is. Do you want me to give you some waffle? If I don't know what it is, I'm not going to give you an answer, am I? I, I do find some of the questions coming through amusing. What's the question? No, 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 no more questions coming through. So Nasdaq is completely off the charts for me right now. There's just nothing, nothing there. DAX. Let's have a look at the DAX. We'll mark this one out. Okay, so we've seen some positive moves in the DAX. We've broken through previous resistance highs on the DAX daily. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Okay, so 4 hours broken through that structure point. We've got clear traffic to trade into. Looking good. Scotty, since I had a full head of hair and no grey, so I started back in 2009, but day trading since 2020. Okay, so DAX, this is what I'm looking at. 30 minutes. Let's have a look. Uh, okay, so with the DAX, I'd want to be looking at buys above 24,013. Yeah, it's my full-time thing. I'm here every day, unfortunately for you guys. So you can tune in or not tune in. I'm just doing it anyway. So yep. Fenton cares. I'm slowly learning your setups. I feel I have ages to go. Currently, I don't know the alerts to see or check for breakout and BPC. Kind of similar. Listen, all my setups are very, very similar. They all lead one into the other. So once you know one, you know them all. It's just about being disciplined enough to sit tight and wait for them to unravel. Yeah, so I would look for on the DAX buys above 24,000 and let's call it 14. So I need to see a close above. I'm not doing anything unless we get a close above. Uh, uh, Local government pension schemes. Well, aren't they collapsing? I think, if you could, I'd be. Pensions aren't exactly what they used to be these days. They're all collapsing. I'd much rather be in control of my own funds. Um, yeah, Scotty do offer coaching to members. But look, I do what I do here on a daily basis. So before you want to go down the idea of coaching and things like that, maybe you just tune in a few more days and see if you like what you see. Um, what about the S&P 500? I don't trade that, but I'll happily look at it for you because there's nothing moving at the minute right now. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so look, S&P 500, very, very similar to what we were looking at on the NASDQ. Market created all-time highs last week. Looking at the daily, Thursday was a big bullish candle. Friday was an inside candle. So are you going to make a trade soon? No, I'll make a trade when the market comes to me, Scotty. So for example, look, I need gold. I need gold to get below 32.98 or get above 33.17. Till it does that, I'm doing nothing. So you can set alerts like I've done, um, which you'll see here. So my alert, you'll see it go off at this price point there at 33.15.33. And the idea of that is so that I can be looking at other charts, I can answer your questions, and if you do have a question that I'm answering and gold happens to get near the price of interest, then I'll flick back to my chart because ultimately, with all due respect, guys, yeah, I'm here. I'll help you as much as I can, but my trading is the most important thing, which there's nothing setting up. And like I said, 90% of the time I'm not trading, 95% of the time I'm not trading. I do my analysis, that's it. Once price gets to where I'm interested, then I'll trade. US indices have been pumping crazy. Yeah. What strategy do I use? I'm just a price action trader. So I'll let price dictate. These are my setups. I'll just show you them. So I have them saved so that when I'm referring to a particular setup, I'll say, right, this is what I'm going to trade. So if I was to go long above 33.17 or short below 32.98, today they would both be a breakout strategy. They would both be a breakout long or a breakout short. Now, if price was to get up to 33.17, push through that level, close above it, but then failed to continue and then reversed and closed back below the level, then I'd be looking to trade a false breakout. Why don't you try trading futures? Hmm, never done it. Uh, not not sure why, but I never done it. I looked at futures markets just for information, but I've never traded them. Okay, yeah, I heard it. A few people have said it's smoother, less wiki, but is there a reverse correlation between gold and US indices? Okay, so look, when it comes to correlations, this is an area that I do think people look at a little bit too much. Because, for example, if you were to look at US indices and say, right, what is a traditional sort of like correlation? People would talk about risk on. Risk on means US dollar down, indices up, gold down, Japanese yen down. That's your typical risk on scenario. Risk off scenario would be indexes and equities down, gold up, dollar up, Japanese yen up, Swiss franc up. Okay, so they're your safe havens. Now, there'll be times where you see gold up, indexes up. There'll be times where you see gold up, dollar up, indexes up. Correlations are all dependent on where markets are trying to go. Because right now the world is very, very different to what it was a few years back. Basis, you've got the BRIC index trying to de-dollarize. You've got sanctioned countries trying to de-dollarize, buying gold. You've got China buying lots more gold. So gold can go up as indexes can go up. So you've got many different things that's going on. So I wouldn't try and rely too much on correlations. Bro, I got a big payout and funded pips didn't pay me. They come up with some lame excuse not to pay me. Sid, that's what I told you, mate. All these prop firms, there's always an excuse. That's why the one that I know that works, and a lot of my members have been paid out on it. That's why I recommend them, pal. Um, so yeah, just be careful when it comes to correlations. It's not that I don't think they work. bonds and gold will be a correlation. US 10-year yields, as they go up, bonds will go down, gold can go down. But this year you'll have seen that completely switch because of like the buying, whether it's geopolitical, whether it's China, will all create a rhetoric around why a market's moving. So don't buy into stories, just look what the markets are doing. And if you can see a correlation, then have a look at the one that's maybe lagging. Like someone said to me the other day, do you think we should buy silver because it's so undervalued against gold? I was like, well, what if gold just goes down? And they went, well, then the valuation comes back in line. I was like, yeah, exactly. So you don't need to buy silver in order to get the market to go back in line. Gold could just devalue. So again, think about I th just think about why markets move in a certain manner and what's causing them, um, and have some rules. Have a process behind you. You know, I don't care what a lot of the other things do because my trades will generally last around anything under 20 minutes usually. Um, Anything that lasts over that usually ends up in a loss. As you saw last week, all the trades we took on here probably didn't last more than 5 minutes on whole. Uh, I see. I would still assume US indices would move together. US indices will generally move together, but again, also think about uh, the for example, NASDAQ is weighted to tech. So it's all tech markets. So you could have a tech issue where, I don't know, let's say it's something to do with Nvidia or uh, Netflix, those kind of things. You'll find that that can just have a big weigh on that side of the market. Whereas in the S&P 500, yes, they'll be in there, but it might not weigh on it as much because there's more markets in there. So just again, be wary of what you're trading and why. GU, someone said, can I have a look at GU? Let's have a look. Okay, so. From a daily perspective, we've seen an impulsive move higher. We've pulled back, we've created a correction, and now we're potentially forming a base to potentially move higher. So let's have a look at the 4 hour. Ooh, 4 hour looks a little bit different, but so if we look at this, if I was looking at options here, I see support here, the market's come into it, rejected, rejected. We've broken through. Now, based off of 4 hour, if this bullish candle had gone up first, then broken the lows, I would have looked to have sold that. Resistance level in here. Let's have a look at the hourly. Okay, so not based on the hourly, I wouldn't. Why? Because structure has been altered to here. Let me just put that back in a little bit so you can see on TikTok. Okay. 30. Okay, so if I was looking to do anything on cable, I'd want to sell below 35.70 and I'd want to be buying above this area here. The rest of it, I'm not really keen on. It's just a bit choppy. So 136.80. So this would be my no trade range. All that is my no trade range. Uh, okay. Any questions? No, no, no. King City. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Sid, mate. Unfortunately, but that is the nature of the beast out there these days. There are a lot of people that, or a lot of market companies that don't pay, uh, which is why, ultimately, I did a few te challenges for my members because they asked me about certain companies, and they all gave me some random excuse. So. Wasted a chunk of money. Um, no more questions there. No more questions there. Okay, yeah. So alerts are set on gold. We're looking for 33.17 to get above. Um, I'm not doing anything in this red zone. The red zone is my no trade zone. Yeah, I'm staying away from it, guys. Red zone is my no trade zone. Um, how many of you find it difficult to sit on your hands? How many of you find it difficult to sit on your hands and wait for a trade? If you see the market moving, what's your intentions? Are you like, do you sit and go, Oh God, this is going without me. It's going without me. Ah, fuck it, right? Let's just buy. How many of you get that kind of impulsive behavior? Fenton's impossible. Yeah. Um, Look, realistically, you have to ask yourself two questions or ask yourself one question every time your FOMO is bad. Okay, cool. So those of you that have bad FOMO, do you have a trading plan? That's why I'm watching. All right, wicked. Um, so look, like I said, the things that I will do on a daily basis, those of you that that aren't serious about trading, you'll get bored of it. And you'll get bored of it because you're not going to see me place trades all the time. You'll hear me talking most of the time because, like I told you, 95% of the time I'm not trading. I'm waiting for the market to come to the desired points where I want to trade. Um, not sure what's a trading plan. Okay, a trading plan should be you should be able to list exactly why you're going to buy and sell a market and how you're going to manage it and how you're going to exit. Okay, bullet points. It should be like 4 or 5 lines. You don't need long waffle. Okay, look, I'll give you an example. This would be my trading plan for gold breakout long. Watch text, breakout long. There you go. There's my trading plan. Difficult? Yes or no? Thank you, unknown. Uh, uh, yeah, I look, I've been around a long time in this industry. I've switched obviously the way that I used to trade. When Trump came into power for the first time, you just do what works for you, right? But look, that is about as detailed as it needs to be. Why? Because what am I looking for? I'm looking for a breakout long. So what does that mean? I need to see a candle close above the red zone or above the black line. The next thing I need to know is, do I have clear candle space to the left-hand side? Yes, I have big black candle to trade into. Lovely. Next candle to wick down. So once we've had a close above, does the next candle wick down? If it wicks down, I place a buy stop above the bullish candle that closed above the level. Uh, Clear space. These big bodied candles. Not like this, no small bodies, no wicks up and down, clear space, just looking for nice big momentum candles. It could be two, three, it could be one. I want to see at least 30 pips. I want to see nice room to trade into. Simple, okay? And that is about as detailed as you need to get. There's no gray areas. It When I look at this, guess what? Price will have or have not closed above the level. So there's no gray area. There will either be big bodied candles, so in this case, big black bodied candles with small wicks, or there won't be. Again, no gray area. The next candle to wick down, so that means the next candle has to move lower before it goes above. If it goes lower first, again, it will show as a bearish candle before we're looking to buy. So again, no gray area. If those three steps happen, we place a buy stop above the bullish candle. That will be on the 1 hour, the 30 minute, or the 15 minute, wherever you get the setup. You can do it on any time frame. It's price action. Look, at the end of the day, I could just, if we move it over like this, so you can see the time. Oh, you're not going to see it because TikTok don't get to see that top left corner. If you were to cover the top left hand corner of the screen, you've no idea. Mins, I'll give you that answer in a second. You've no idea what each candle represents a period of time unless you sat there with a watch. You let the candle open, and then you count. You put a timer on your watch until the next candle closes. So just remember, price action is price action. It's a period of time, and that's it. So if a setup works on a 5 minute chart, in theory, the principle should work on a 15. It should work on a 30. Doesn't mean it will, but the principle should be because it's price action. The difference between buy limit or buy stops. Okay. A buy limit means you want to buy at a lower price than the current market price. So let's say you wanted to put a buy limit in now, Mins. Price is here at 33.11.80. Your buy limit you could put anywhere below that. So 33.07, 33.03. So that'd be a buy limit. A buy stop means you want to buy at a higher price than the market price. Now, why do I only use buy stops? I use buy stops and sell stops because I want to buy with momentum. So if the market's going higher, I want to be buying with it. I don't want to buy as the market's coming down because that means you're trying to catch a falling knife. Catching a falling knife, you know, yes, it could turn. You'll see people with doing buy limits because they've seen that the market respected this level here. But look, you know, you saw price. If we look, let me move the chart across. We saw price respect this area here, like this area loads of times. So every time you place a buy limit on, then this time you get absolutely screwed. So I don't like buy limits. I always want confirmation. There's no confirmation with the buy limit or a sell limit. The only confirmation you have is that price bounced in that area previously. And that means your your system is relying on hope. And as my granddad always said, there's two hopes, Bob Hope and no hope. So you want to make sure that whatever system you trade, instead of having a buy limit here, why not just wait for buyers to come in? And okay, you might miss 20 pips, 30 pips because you've waited for the candle to close. But that's better than hope, surely. In your case, buy stop will be at 33.17. No, so I'm waiting for a candle to close above here. If we get a candle to close above here, then I have to wait for the wick down. And then, so if a candle closes above here, it might close at 33.19.56. Could that last big bearish candle had fooled you to sell? Here, this one, or this one, or any of them. Remember, the last. Okay. Would I have sold? I'd have sold if this next candle pushed up first, but it actually went down first. It went down first, then up. So if it had gone up first, yeah, I'd have sold underneath the low. That's why I have the rules in place. So the patience. This is what. Oh, actually, hold on. We do have a setup. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. How did I miss this? Okay, potential. You need to see a candle close below 22,775 and then push up. So we'll see. Again, my preference would be if it doesn't close below here and rejects and then buyers come back in, depending how many pips, no, we're not going to have enough. But yeah, so guys, all you'll see from me is the same stuff every time, week in, week out, day in, day out. You're not going to see loads of new sizzle, let's put it that way. You're not going to see me say, oh, we're going to do this. I've learned this new thing and that new thing, and we're going to do this and that. No, same methodical process every day. The strategy is simple. Maybe it's more easier to program it and not spend too much time on the screen. Um, yeah, I mean, look, you can program it to a certain extent. Um, I only spend the time in front of the screen where I'm looking at the London Open and the US Open. So I have little faith in algos. I've been burnt bad twice. Altide, thank you. Live, stop, and shop. Thank you for sharing the live. Much appreciated. Buys above 22,900. Are you just catching momentum? Uh, well, look, I mean, it says buys above here, but look, we're nowhere near that. So I'm not going to be just placing an order there now. So yeah, in theory, I'm looking for momentum. I'm looking for it to come in, but we're miles away. I don't see anything happening here today. Um, but that's just where I'm looking for a price to get above for an opportunity. So that could be today or tomorrow, depending what happens. I'm looking at gold really for today. Nothing else. NASDAQ maybe, but I think we're going to continue to see upside on the NASDAQ. Why were you burned by algos? Lost a lot of money. Algos, as far as what I've come across, they all work for a period of time until they don't work. So yeah, enough because people that make them, they curve fit them. They and then once you're in a system, I don't know. It's my experience. So and because I don't know how to code, um, I'm not getting involved in them anymore. Uh, follow the live. Do I trade stocks? I don't. I used to trade penny stocks, oil and gas shares. That's what got me into trading. But I don't anymore. Uh, 1 second. Uh, 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. Right. Okay, so this is in theory setting up now. Got 5 minutes, so I'd have to wait for this 5 minute candle to close. Are you looking for trend trades? No, I will trade anyway. Obviously, with trend, it's going to be you're probably more likely to get a follow through where it goes on, you get more points out of the market. But yeah, no, I'll trade long and short on any market any day. How's next shares doing today? Next, no idea. What's my TP? If I take this, I'll be looking to exit at 22,730. I'll be looking to exit here. Do I know Jordan Belfort or Belfort? Analysis on gold. I don't know Belfort. I know Jordan Belfort. So this is gold analysis. Now look, there's potential. God. All right. Questions? No, no questions. Very, very slow day today. All right. Let's see if we. Why is it needs to close below the. Uh, Gold isn't doing anything. Why don't you trade something else? This is the NASDQ. I only trade gold and NASDAQ in the afternoon, so if nothing sets up, nothing sets up, is what it is. Trade what works. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If this next candle, if the next 15-minute candle pushes higher, I'll put a sell stop underneath the low. Oh. All right, let's see what happens. 1 minute and 7 seconds. If the next candle pushes up, I will be placing a sell stop underneath the low of this candle. 'So yep, just sitting tight, guys. Wait for this candle to close now. Got 40 seconds. Four seconds. Next candle needs to push up. If it pushes up, we place the order, or I will. So I want to see it. And there we go. It's starting to push up. So orders going in. I'm going to put TP in at 18 pips today as opposed to 20 just because the range is a little bit tighter. So, okay, let me just change charts. So you can see on YouTube now, you should be able to see it. TikTok, bear with me. Always takes a while on TikTok. There you go. So orders in, partial TPs in, stop losses above the 15-minute high. So there we go. Orders in, let's see what happens. Auto break even. Need to put in at 14 pips. So this is 70% move. Activate it. Sell stop. And there we go. We are live. I'm not quite sure why it didn't go live so soon. So look, this is we closed below this level here. Market pushed up. We sold underneath the low. Sahel stop loss above the current 15-minute candle, the previous 15-minute candle high. As soon as I see some blue numbers here, if price breaks its own high, I'll close half the position down. So if it breaks its own high, I'm going to close half the position. I do that just by hitting this. Hey, how we doing, guys? Welcome. So I've sold the low of the previous 15-minute candle on the NASDQ. Now, when you're asking numbers, guys, you should always look at your own broker data because brokers, especially when it comes to the indexes, prices can vary 20 to 40 points depending on liquidity providers. Yeah, I mean, look, it's at my entry price now. It's less than a pip, but I wouldn't just say go ahead and sell because I've sold. You want to know the rationale behind the sell, and then if you agree with it and you're happy, then that's something that you can consider doing. So what I am going to do, as I said, guys, is if it breaks its own high on the 15-minute chart, I'm going to close half of the trade. Oh my days, sweep and boss. No, I don't. um, I'm guessing that's some SMC chit chat. I don't talk. I'm just a price action trader. Very simple stuff. Price broke this and closed below this low. We've got clear candle space to trade into down here. The next candle pushed higher before we sold the low. Really simple. Has to be simple for me to do it. What moves the market, in my opinion? It's not my opinion, it's fact. Buyers and sellers. 7 pips. You losing big money at the moment. No bigger than normal. Not enough to get me worried. Not enough to be stressed. So remember, whenever you trade, I trade at fixed lot size every time. So whether it's this, gold, it's always the same lot size. I know what the dollar value is, and that's it. And over a period of time, we make cash. We have losing trades, as you'll have seen here on live stream. Um, the thing that you have to do, guys, is you have to focus on the process. I see too many people asking about lot sizes, profit, and things like this. That's like going into the gym and how much do you lift, mate? How much do you lift? What you bench? Right. Why do people say that? It's all about an ego thing. So just to give you an insight, I trade a very small account, right? I trade a small account under under 50k here. Why? Because I don't want big numbers to make me do things emotionally. Now, when you do things, you have to think, why do you do it? More people get injured, or no, not more people, more men get injured in the gym because of egos. Oh, I lifted this, I lifted that. Same with trading. Oh, how many lots you trading at? Oh, I'm trading this lot. Yeah. So just remember, you have to do things according to where you're at. So if you're trading at one lot, I presume you've traded at half a lot, point 0.3 of a lot, point 0.1 of a lot to prove you're profitable before you've gone to one lot. If you haven't, then you know what you need to do? You need to go all the way back to the beginning. Forget about ego, forget about how much money you want to make, focus on the process. Yeah? Because if you can lift, let's say you can lift 50 kg, right? Before you go to 55 or 52, you want to make sure that you can do 50 comfortably and you can do it consistently. Yeah? I'm not here to show you telephone numbers and show you Lamborghinis and Ferraris and whatever. I'm here to show you a process, what I do on a day-to-day basis. And you either like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, then you know what? You go to a different channel. Yeah. So again, that's a simple process. I'm in a short LV. I'm in a short. I'm 2 pips offside. Full port longs. Yeah, maybe. I stick to my rules. My rule. Good luck, bro. Yeah, thank you. We can both win. We could both lose. Yeah, I'm selling. Mark, why do you trade 15-minute candles and not 5 minute? Um, just I could trade 5 minute. I just don't move. Obviously, 3 times as fast. The ranges aren't as big. Um, there's no real reason. If it works on a 15, it'll work on a 5. Um, these are just what I do. Like I said, it'll work on a 5. It'll work on a day chart. I don't do it on day charts. In 2015, I did 3 triathlons. Oh, well done, fencing. Are you a scalper? I wouldn't say so. This is my first trade. The logic in your system, that's all. Yeah, cheers, bud. Are you selling or buying gold or waiting? I'm not doing anything with gold at the minute. Gold hasn't triggered my alerts. I'm selling the NASDQ at the minute. And as I said, if price breaks its own high, I'll close half of the position. Since we got triggered, uh, profit target is 22,714. It's not even really gone in profit. It went a couple of points in profit and then just seems to stick around where we are. Um, uh, so, New York short H4. I don't know. Let's not seen it. Uh, New York short H4 potential. I mean, the one thing also as well, you have to remember with H4 candles, H4 candles are a bit dodgy. And the reason I say they're dodgy is because it depends where your broker's server is based. So your H4 could be very different to my H4 candle, who could be different to someone else's candle, because it depends where their server is based. Oh, it's a slow one, this. It's not depend. The candles will look different. So it depends on the time zone where your server is based. So, for example, if one is based in the UK and one is based in the Europe, it will grab four different 1 hour candles. So therefore, your 4 hour candle will look different. Not everyone's 4 hour candle will look the same, guys. That's something you need to know pretty early on in your trading. It's just time zones. The hourly candle will always be the same. Just short on NASDAQ. We're 1 pip offside at the minute. It's not really moved in profit or done anything. First take profit is 18 pips. Actually, I just need to amend that. I want to take 70% of the position off just because it's against market trend. Uh, all right, let's see if we can have a little bit of movement, please. SXM. Yeah, I'm in the UK. Not sure who that is. Yeah, UK. Where are you taking profit? At 22,741. Now just remember your broker feed may be different, so don't take my prices if you're trading it. This is a slow burner today. Yeah, it's quiet, guys. Let's see if we can move. Okay, so if this candle breaks the low, I'm going to bring the stop down above the previous candle's high. So it's right at the entry now. The entry price is where price is at. Well, it was. We're 3 pips offside. So if I break 22,755, my stop will be coming down above the high of this 15-minute candle. I have no idea. Fair value gap. Don't talk about them. Don't do them. Let's hope on the open we can get a little bit of a move because this is a bit boring. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens because if it's if it's still going to be like this on the open, I'll probably close it down quickly. Uh, top stocks pre-market are all down, so NAS should go down. Yeah, but let's hope so. Oh, So yeah, very quiet, guys. There's not a lot to say while the market's not moving. TP is 18 pips. First take profit. I've got an auto break even at 15 pips, and then extended targets at 22,713. All right, let's see. Let's push a little bit more. Trading's quiet. Let's talk training. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a run after this. And there we go. Okay, stops down. So stops now come down to 22,776. Uh, yeah, I'm not doing anything with gold until we get above 33.17. So it was 11 minutes, guys, for this candle to close. Do you take more than one trade a day? Ryan, it depends on the market, but I'll take up to 3 trades in a session. So it just depends on the market. Um, so yeah, very unfortunately, I would love to if I knew what is your idea at 33.17. Uh, I'd be looking for a breakout or false breakout depending on what happens with the candles at that price. Right, come on, let's push a little bit lower. Ah, boredom. 10 minutes. All right, 9 minutes. Now remember the market open is highest gold is going to buy after pink line. Not necessarily it's going to buy. I need to see a close above 33.17. So because we're coming into the market open, if we're somewhere down here and we haven't yet hit break even in the next what 5-6 minutes, so just a minute or two before the open, I'm just going to hit stop loss at entry, so we can't lose anything. No, I scale out at usually 20 pips on the NASDQ, 10 pips generally on gold, unless there's a strong trend, I'll scale out at 15 pips. And then it depends on structure. Just just follow price action, guys. Right, so look, I'm gonna let's bring the stop down so reduced risk even more. And we're getting close to that break even point. Simple stuff, right, guys? Look, if you want to move it to break even now with like 5 minutes to market open, then you know what? You better to be in a position where you can't lose anything. So I'm at break even now. Uh, don't need that. So I just removed my auto break even. Don't need it anymore because I'm at break even. Now, if we haven't hit our TP1 here or been stopped out, 1 minute before the open, I'm going to close half. Okay. Do you trade through a limited company? Yeah. Another minute. All right, guys. What was it? 25. Give it another 2 minutes, and if we haven't hit TP, I'm going to close half. Slowly going towards your stop loss. Hey, look, don't worry. We can all win. We can all lose. Every day you can have trades that will potentially go against you. So as long as you were disciplined, you stuck to your rules, that's all that matters. See, this is why I do these sessions because people are coming in, they'll tell me they're buying, they're buying, they're buying. I say, well, look, I'm selling because of X, Y, Z. These are my rules. This is why I've done it. And every time I take a trade, doesn't matter whether I'm going long or short, doesn't matter which market, people will disagree with me. I'll never change my mind because of the rules, right? The rules are what makes me take a trade, not my thought process, not, oh, I think this is going to happen because of the news, or I think this is going to happen because X, Y, Z. Nope, my rules are what determines whether I buy or sell. So one more minute, and then I'm closing half off. And no doubt someone will say, oh, but you could have had 12 pips. Yep, but we don't know that. If we knew, we'd all know when to do it, right? That's called a crystal ball. And we may just get stopped at break even. Uh, we'll leave it now. There we go. Break even. So guys, again, very simple process. Let's see what happens on the open just for the sake of it. And then I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That was 5 lots. Yep, break even for me as well. Yeah, so I am going to just stay on this for 1 minute and 45 seconds because I just want to see how the market opens. And then that's me done for today. That was NASDAQ. Uh, Gold, I would look for buys above here. So buys there and sells below that. Everything else I'm not interested in. If it breaks out of here and then closes back below, I'll trade a false break. But but that's it. Just want to have a look, see how NASDAQ opens, and then I'm going to call it a day, guys. Did you had any winners today? Yes, we had a winner on gold. Um, Not much, just 10 pips, but that was it. So this is gone now. I don't need that. I'm just going to see what happens here just for the sake of uh, market open. That's it. I'm not. Gold will trade higher. If it does, lovely. So that's what I'm looking for. Potential breakout above here. I'm looking at the wrong chart. Here you go. So smart move to bring stops to break even. See, let price tell us. What's your sporting analogy for closing at break even? uh, Not sure you can say chess is a sport, but let's just say stalemate. Ian Bell, game of cricket has been rained off. And Ian Bell, wasn't he a famous cricketer as well? Ian Bell, wasn't he the opening batsman? Or was it in martial arts? We will say, don't get hit. Yeah. Boxing, it's a split decision, right? Oh, 1 minute time, 1 minute on gold. Not for me. Parking the bus. Yeah, the bus is parked, guys. So, guys, listen, that's it. I'm done for today. If you enjoyed the live stream, just give us a couple of likes and I'll see you tomorrow. If you didn't enjoy the live stream, then I guess this is the last time I'll see you. No hard feelings. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thanks, guys. Take care. Oh, I got a cap and a heart. Thank you, guys. Not sure what they are. Yeah, by the way, if you do want to check out any of the services, the free channels, if you just go to the link in the bio, just click on Stand Store, you'll see everything there. All right, guys, take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.